Video 6. How to make the buyer's request section of Fiverr work for you. Hey everybody, and thanks for joining me here on video 6 for the Fiverr and Work at Home series I'm doing. Remember back in video 5 when I said that I was looking to make my first sale by utilizing the buyer's request section on Fiverr? Well, let me show you how that ended up. Here is the order that buyer placed with me about 4 or 5 days after we first spoke. And as you can see, it's an order worth $125. So how did a $75 order turn to $125? Well, notice that $10 add-on for the black French cuff shirt. Let's take a look at the order requirements that I received when he first placed the order. When you drop this menu down, you will see your order requirements messages that were sent to the buyer along with their responses. Now, the first one is a Fiverr question, so ignore it. Number 2 here is my gig requirements message that I typed in. And yes, I spammed the line 3 times to make sure that the buyer sees it, because if you remember from the gig creation video I showed you all, I didn't make this a mandatory step for the buyer. I didn't click that little checkbox. So technically it's easy for the buyer to forget to attach their script here. It looks like he followed the instructions just fine because right here is his script. Now moving on to number 3, we see that my last message to the buyer was, please send any files related to your project, logo, pictures, videos, etc. He chose to elaborate on his requirements a bit here instead, but there is something important here that I want to bring to your attention. At this point of the order, buyers will sometimes request things that were not mentioned before they placed the order. In this case, the buyer chose to tell me, pitch should be very exciting, convincing, and consultative. Business casual attire, please. Message me if you have any questions. All good, right? Well, what if he didn't exactly think that my standard black shirt that I wear for the gig is business casual attire? This is something I needed to address before I recorded a video and had them reject it because I didn't wear a suit and tie or something for them. So let's proceed. A few hours later, I responded back to try to work this shirt thing out. My message was simply this: thanks for your order. I'll go ahead and start on this one soon, and I'll make the background pure white for you, just like my video intro shows you. Now, you did mention business casual attire, please. Have you taken a look at my intro video or any of my samples? That black shirt is my default shirt that I do for all my presentations and commercials. I offer a different style of shirt for an additional $10 as per my gig's description. Are you requiring something else? I have a black French cuff shirt that looks like this for plus $10. And I sent him the link to a video that showed me wearing the black French cuff shirt. You see, I planned to record that night, and I really wanted to get started on this video to deliver early for him. So I waited a little over an hour to send a follow-up message before it got too late in the evening to prompt him to answer me back sooner rather than later. And my follow-up message was very polite and straight to the point. It was this: hey, it looks like I'm going to be recording tonight. Are you okay with the standard attire as depicted in my intro video of my gig? I'll be proceeding with the standard black shirt in about 4 hours or so. Would be great to get a confirmation from you. Thanks. Now, this infers to him that I run a scheduled operation and that I'm trying to do this in a timely manner for everyone involved. This looks very professional, and it can let the client know that your business is running like a well-oiled machine. Just make sure to give them a nice window of time to get back to you if you're going to try to pull this off. 4 hours seems reasonable, and delivering faster looks good for Fiverr's algorithm and helps your gig rank better among all your competitors there on Fiverr. The high dollar amount and infancy of this gig will mean that this order will propel my gig and shoot my gig impressions up a lot. It's been a week, and this gig went from like 200 impressions to over 4,000 now. Actually, a few weeks to get 4,000 impressions. But you have to keep in mind that you do have an active timer, so don't feel bad about hounding them for order requirements a bit heavier than normal. Your entire account depends on delivering satisfactory 5-star orders before the deadline, and the sooner the better in Fiverr's eyes. I'd even go as far as saying that it feels like more $5 orders are better than a few high-dollar orders, but not if the $5 orders are all coming from the same person. Fiverr likes to see your gig getting a whole bunch of sales from different users, and it seems like some of the messages I sent back and forth to Fiverr's customer service over the years has given me this kind of insight. But anyway, let's move on and wrap this sale up. So anyway, he proceeded to tell me, if you have a business shirt and sports coat, that would be great. We want a more business-like feel. So now, you see what happened here? He did not want my standard black shirt. He's asking me for something that I don't offer for free and did not discuss with him before the order was placed. You see, your buyer should never do something like this when they order. But guess what? On Fiverr, you get this a lot. And the problem is, if you can't work it out, you end up canceling on them, and that hurts your cancellation ratio, thus hurting your whole gig in the search results ranking and everything. And trust me, too many canceled orders will kill your Fiverr account. It's worse than getting below a 5-star rating. I know it sounds crazy, but this is what happened to my last account. As it grew in popularity, I kept getting people who ordered incorrectly. And to be completely honest, these people were just not reading anything on my gig. They were just placing orders and asking for stuff that costed extra and didn't care. And you're gonna get this a lot. So what did I do to fix this? Well, he already saw the shirt that I had proposed for $10, and he sent the message asking for a sports coat, so that meant that he did not prefer my alternate wardrobe option. And this could have been avoided if he would have simply asked about this before placing the order, but you can't always expect things to go so smoothly. You just need to prepare yourself for all the pitfalls. All of this is preparing yourself for the pitfalls while trying to set the proper expectation up for your customer so that they don't end up disappointed. Now, I ended up being very clear when saying that I do have a sports coat I could wear without a tie, but I don't normally wear it like that, and I'm not sure how I would look in a video for it. I offered to send him a sample video of me wearing that, but instead he decided to just go ahead and go with the French cuff shirt that I originally showed him, which means a $10 addition to the order. So I asked him a few minutes later to confirm the shirt that he wanted was the one in this link, and I waited. And I waited, and I waited about 10 more minutes, and I went ahead and sent the extra $10 to the order because I knew that this was going to be an extra 10 bucks anyway. And this prompted him to respond back to me and accept the extra to continue. Now, fast forward a bit, and you'll see the initial review that he left for this video. He says, "Looks great. I made a mistake on the script at the end. Can we change it to say blah, 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 blah?" Bummer, right? I mean, this is something that could have definitely been avoided. I did my job correctly, and he said that it looked great. So what do you do about a problem like this? Well, you be really careful, all right? You don't want to sell yourself short. You don't want to overwork yourself. You don't want to give anything away for free to people who don't pay attention, or whatever else may frustrate you if you let it happen over and over and over again. And let me tell you this. This order presented me with all the things that could possibly go wrong on your order, especially if you do video work. So I'm glad I'm able to document this because I have learned a lot over the past 6 years, and I've prepared myself well to be able to handle this kind of thing. Anyway, what did I do? I didn't let the client know that this was a pet peeve of mine, that's for sure. I did not let my frustration show. Here is what I told him when he requested that I suit back up, put my batteries in all my equipment, move my studio lights back into place, put the memory card back into the camera, refix my hair, shave all over again, reboot the teleprompter, and simply record that 10 seconds of footage. I told him, "Oh no, well, I'm sorry that happened. Normally this does require an additional fee for me to re-suit up and re-record and re-edit the footage. It's typically a $10 minimum fee, and the cost for whatever has to be re-recorded. In this case, it would be $15. However, in this event, I've not formally listed my redo policy on the gig yet, so I feel it's not okay to charge for this at this time. For future orders, perhaps this will set the proper expectations for such events." And that's the most professional way you can really handle that, okay? In the requirements section of my gig, I'll end up simply typing something to the extent of, "By continuing with this order, you agree that you've read and understood my terms and conditions. Otherwise, please ask for that documentation now." And this will help cover your ass. I finished up by telling him I'll fix the ending of the script this morning. It will take me a while to suit back up and get ready. I was just about to head off to bed, and he thought that was good enough. So anyway, it was 6 a.m. and I was about to go to bed, but instead of waking up the next morning and having to do all this and shave and everything, I just decided to just throw the shirt back on and record that little bit real quick and edit it right there on the spot. I sent it over within the next hour or two for him, and the client gave me a 5-star rating. At that point, the order was a successful $85 and a 5-star rating. My first real order straight from the buyer's request section of Fiverr. I thought that it couldn't get any better. Then I decided to try something to retain this customer for future orders. I devised a coupon code idea, but listen to how I delivered this thing. When a buyer completes an order that you've turned in and they leave you a review, you can also leave a review to show your experience with that buyer. So this is where I decided to give him the coupon code for his next order. This feedback will be shown to other buyers on the site who are looking at your gigs, and they will see me saying, "It was a pleasure working with you. I'm giving you a coupon code in your inbox that you can use to get $5 off your next order. Be sure to check it. Thanks again." I thought that it was a crafty way to attempt to get this client's business again. However, a few minutes later, he ends up tipping me a whopping $40 and saying, "You're the best. Thanks again." That is how you turn a $75 order into a $125 order like a pro. Now, other potential buyers will see that coupon code and think that they will save a bit of money buying a video from me, and that high dollar client will have a good enough reason to come back for more. This has been episode 6 of the Fiverr Tips and Work at Home Advice video series, and in video 7 we'll talk about how I almost received a bad review due to an uncooperative client. I'll even show you how I stood my ground and handled it professionally. I even resolved it between myself and the client with a 5-star review before customer service had a chance to deal with it. I'll share that story with you and why I chose to handle it the way I did, and even what I may have done wrong. But ultimately, I'll share with you how to avoid this kind of problem in the future and how your gigs need to adapt to accommodate such things as they happen. Remember, never turn in a late order and never get below a 5-star rating if you can help it. The rest is about not giving stuff away for free, selling yourself too short, or caving in to buyers who try to take a mile when you give them an inch. Don't forget to click that subscribe button and thumbs up button if you like the video. And don't hesitate to leave your questions down below in the comments section. I'll see you in the next video. Oh yeah, and be sure to join my Facebook group by visiting the link in the video description or by heading on over to tinyurl.com/Fiverr Facebook group. It will help you stay up to date on this video course and get special tips that you may not find here in my videos. Take care.
If you like it, share the sheet.
Don't let those no money blues get you down, baby. The hoary sheet shows got you covered.